Hey Libra, I'm back, and you must be in one hell of an explosive mood right now. I'll tell you why in a moment, because this month is very, very significant. For those of you born under the sign, let me have a look at the time here so I know exactly what I'm doing. Being born under the sign of justice, truth, justice, and that blindfolded. Don't be blindfolded, although you may be blindfolded this month with that conjunction of Venus, your ruler, and Mars with Pluto. Oh my God, this is really, really powerful stuff. Mars is the planet that rules your most significant relationships. You've got Pluto ruling your second house, which is finance and some of your material values, and Venus, of course, your personal ruler, all making that major conjunction on the 3rd, and then moving into this 5th house of love affairs on the 6th. So, I mean, you can put 2 and 2 together. Even if you can't do math, that is an easy sort of combination to understand. Venus, Mars, the planets of sexuality, being empowered by Pluto, and then shifting into a little sort of sexy dance into that 5th house of love, romance, and, creative pursuits, amorous pursuits, dalliances, whatever you want to call them. It's very, very, very strong. So this month you can see that these conjunctions set the trend, and it is an important month that is followed, or actually they follow on the same date as the conjunction with Mars and Venus to Pluto, the new moon taking place in the sign of Pisces. That is occurring in your 6th house, where you already have Neptune, you already have Jupiter. The sun is already transiting there as this month starts. And wow, this is a big one, because the 6th house has a lot to do with the way you serve, at your service. So how are you serving? What are you serving in your work? What are you producing? It has to do with the manner in which you work. Maybe all this creative and sexual and Venus-Mars energy is somewhat robbing you of that focus on doing work in a much, much better way. You need to be mindful of the way you do your work, and mindful of the way you interact, and also the way you use other people's resources. You have to be resourceful this month, and the new moon indicates a new attitude in that specific direction, Libra. One that I think is going to serve you well, to the extent that you're able to serve others in the capacity of your work. Mind you, the 6th house also has to do with new approaches to diet, health, vitality, well-being, and the link between your daily routine and your health. People often overlook the fact that the way in which you do things is also impactful on your health and well-being. You can have 2 people that have the same task to do, but one will be calm, relaxed, in control of the situation. The other person will be reactive, upset, incapable of, managing their time well enough to get the job done well. And so therefore, the well-being of that person is being impacted primarily by the attitude or the methodology or the exactly the way in which they are approaching that task. So I think the new moon is very telling and shines a light in a way on how you can adjust yourself and change the way that you've been doing things in your work, the way you've been doing things in your day-to-day routine, and most importantly, the way that has been impacting your health, your vitality, and in that sense, you can bypass disease, because disease, to a large extent, is also based upon these attitudes. High levels of stress. Trust me, I can tell you all about that. You don't want stress. Eliminate stress. That's the key phrase this month for you, I think, Libra. The full moon also is going to have some important things to reveal to you by way of your 3rd house on the 18th of the month, that that full moon is in the zone of communication, the way you think. I think this is an extension too, because the way you handle things has obviously got to do with the way you think about them. You have to create the methodology, the attitude in the mind before you present that to the world outside yourself. So I think the full moon is also going to act as an extension to those other transits that I just mentioned earlier. Moving on there, the square of Venus to Uranus on the 19th, the day after that full moon, is important. That can really heighten your nervousness. It's funny, we were just talking about that in the 6th house issues. Do take care there. If need be, reschedule your appointments. If you're angry at someone or you don't think you're in a position with all the right facts and figures to go into a meeting where you can have control enough, then it's better to just readjust and reschedule that timing. Mercury with Jupiter on the 21st. By the way, on the 21st we have the ingress of the Sun into Aries. For you, that's an important one. I don't mention it to all of the star signs, but it does happen in your 7th house of relationships. That's your 11th house of ruler, the Sun, which rules your fulfillment, moving into your relationships. That's important on the 21st, along with that conjunction of Mercury and Jupiter. Really good expression is found when you've got Mercury and Jupiter together. Noble ideas, good communication. That's a good time for you to share your feelings with the one that you love. Venus on the 29th moves into conjunction with Saturn. Now, that normally is not a great conjunction for the other star signs, but for you, Saturn is the ruler of the 4th and 5th house. This is the best planet in your chart next to your ruler. So when these planets come together, this is called Raja Yoga or Kingly Yoga, or a very super special combination. And that's taking place in that 6th house. So that may show some breakthrough in the nature of your work, some relationship with a co-worker, and possibly even some opportune job offer that will come your way towards the end of the month. Popping over to astrology.com.au. We've got more there on the month. We've got more there on the days. We've got more there on the weeks and the year. We can fill in all the gaps there for you at astrology.com.au. Fill in the gap below by subscribing. That's a gap that I don't want to see with you here. If you're here now, you may as well join. If you're here, you may as well drop me a line too. I'm happy to hear from you. If you've got any complaints, I'm the manager. Just send them to me, baby. I hope you've got no complaints. But I'm happy to cop criticism. That's how we improve. And I'm happy to see you here next month. I hope you'll be here. Take care. Bye-bye.